Welcome everybody to another episode on All Things Sky Blues. We're back on the finished article. Guess what? It's Saturday. It's a beautiful day. And what more can you say? You know what? After last night, I think everyone's buzzing. But before we get into talking about last night's game, let me go through some admin. As always, guys, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. We really do appreciate the love and support everyone's been giving us. As we did mention in last night's podcast, we will be going live now only on Twitch and YouTube. So for those that watch on Facebook and Twitter, we will be posting these podcasts live after the shows are done. But if you could get yourself over to YouTube and Twitch and subscribe there, that would be greatly appreciated. As always, we are on the race to 200. So big up to those that have supported us and helped us get over to 100 plus subscribers. We're now on 125. So really do appreciate that. And as always, follow us on the finished article on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube for more content. But without further ado, let me bring the main man on to, or main men, should I say. First of all, Mr. Richard Home. And
hi, mate.
How's it going, mate? How's it going, boy?
Yeah, guys.
Yeah, it's good. It's good to see you back on here presenting. So I did enjoy doing the show the other week, but it made me appreciate what a good job you and the other Shazad what a good job both of you do presenting these, because it's totally different to just.
Good, I have to say,
thanks to Darren for as well, for he played a blinder too.
I did ask Darren if he wanted to jump on. I'm not sure if he's free. But Darren, if you are free next time, by all means, I'd love to have you back on. But without further ado, guys, let's get into it. It's your boys City smashing through past Posh last night to go join top. Well, we were top until West Brom decided to spoil the party.
I know. Live standards were currently fourth. Shocking. Robin's out.
14 points clear from the relegation zone.
Yeah.
But, well, it might be less than that now.
You know, I knew Adam was going to say that.
Yeah, but you know what? I'd rather be that end of the table worrying about goal difference and being 1 point off top than the other end thinking we're only 1 point off the bottom three. So,
well, a third of the way to safety now.
Yeah. Yeah,
you're thinking about safety. The rest of us are thinking about the Premiership. From what I heard last night, everyone was thinking about the Premier League.
Of course.
I think it's a little bit tongue in cheek as well. But let's enjoy it while we're there, right? Because it may not last. Hopefully, it does. But let's just enjoy the ride while we're there.
The way we're playing, who knows?
Yeah.
From what I've seen, we've dominated every single game we've played.
We have, and you know what? We're becoming more and more dominant in those games. So, if you look back to Forest, we were the better team in that game and deserved to win it. But you look at how much stronger we were last night. They didn't even have a sniff, hardly. I mean, they had one or two half chances, didn't they? Really, but we literally bossed that game from start to finish.
Simon Moore made 2 good saves when we were 3-0 up, but other than that, I mean, it took till the second half to score, but you could see it was coming.
Yeah,
well, shouldn't we have had a penalty?
Yeah, I mean, I was sat there behind the goal when it happened. I mean, the guy had his arm all around Mart's, and it was for me it's a stone waller. But
guys, we've got a special guest as well.
Here he is.
Hello.
Yeah,
You right? Yeah.
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad.
Yeah. So that penalty was definite penalty. I think the one where O'Hare threw himself to the ground. I mean, the guy was lucky not to be booked. That was embarrassing. I don't want to see that at the club, right? That was just pathetic. But the Martin
that was outside the area anyway.
It was.
Yeah, the O'Hare one was outside the penalty area anyway. I mean, I was at the other end from it, so I don't say whether it's out or not. But
I'm guessing you probably
I don't need everything.
Seriously, no.
all right, we've all been there.
I wasn't sure who that was coming from. I just know that my house is quiet. That coming from me.
I know. Mine's being quiet today.
Yeah.
Exactly. We've all been there though.
Yeah.
It's all good, man. It's all good.
But you see that obviously, it says 3 past Posh, but that could have been a hell of a lot more and should have been a hell of a lot more.
Yeah.
You know what? Jonathan Clark Harris didn't actually do much last night.
He did nothing. all the fuss about would he play, wouldn't he play, and it's easy for me to say this now, but I'm glad he did play. But I'm glad he did play. But all the fuss did nothing.
Yeah. But that's where you see the difference though between League One and the Championship. You can be a great player in League One and then step into the Championship, and all of a sudden it's different ball game. Look at the strikers we had in League One; they all look fairly decent at times, but they stepped into the Championship, and let's be honest, none of them were good enough. Apart from maybe Godden.
Darren, last night's game.
Well, man, I'm having problems. 1 minute.
No worries.
Yeah, Clark Harris didn't do a lot last night. To be fair, he scored 1 or 2 against Birmingham last week, so he might do all right in this league. You never know.
Yeah, I wasn't particularly worried whether he played or not. I still fancied us to win that last night.
But defensively, we weren't troubled at all last night.
No,
I didn't think so. I mean, this is
Second
the next
best
thing
defence in the league now, I think. The fewest goals conceded.
Gyokeres on fire.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts? I know
It's a great partnership he's got with Waghorn.
yeah, Waghorn, right? What he does off the ball is fantastic.
Yeah.
He's not obviously getting the goals he probably deserves from his play, but off that ball, man, taking them defenders away so Gyokeres has the space and others, it's just ridiculous because they seem to have one defender on Waghorn at all times.
Yeah.
And that obviously, when you're playing 2 strikers, that just creates that little pocket of space and then holes and then gaps.
Yeah.
That's what Gyokeres is like. What, is he top scorer or joint top scorer? Or
Top scorer, 7 goals now. He's got well, it doesn't matter when you've got a strike partnership that are scoring. It doesn't matter if it's one of them getting all the goals or whether it's a mix between them. At the end of the day, with that partnership up front, we're scoring goals. So.
Exactly.
And Hamer got his first goal of the season last night.
We're back up to 3rd, boys. We're back up to 3rd.
Brilliant. Yeah. Sympathy to Derby County over there. Obviously, rules are rules, but you got to feel for their supporters for the 15-point deduction because obviously we've been there ourselves.
Yeah, but they didn't feel sympathy for us, so why should you feel sympathy for that?
I did read something about how Wayne Rooney's paying for all the travel. And pocket. Fair play if that's the case. As much as I've doubted him as a manager.
Yeah, what he's doing is very good, isn't it? He's actually supporting the people that need the support. I mean, the players obviously don't, they can go a few months without getting paid, and it's probably not going to affect them too much. But those guys in the city office that are probably on minimum wage. He's helping them out of his own pocket, and obviously he doesn't owe that club any sort of loyalty whatsoever.
Oh, this is a nightmare. Seriously, you got to have.
That's not good.
One thing though, it isn't just a case of I've worked out. Here's an interesting stat. Over our last 46 games, if you include this season and last, we're on 66 points. So over a whole season now, the equivalent,
I love it.
Top half team.
Mate, we're top half team this season. Don't worry about the games last season.
I'm just saying, anyone who thinks it's just a case of we're just on a good run of form.
Yeah, I mean, I was saying to Shazad right before, obviously we came live. I said something a little bit controversial in that, in the final third, we're probably one of the worst teams in the league. It's just from the sheer volume of chances we're creating, we're getting the goals and getting the points as a consequence of that. When that starts clicking together, we're going to start giving some of these teams a real hiding. Obviously 3-0 is still a good result, but when that starts clicking properly, we're going to be putting 5, 6, 7s week in, week out potentially.
The energy of this team, they don't stop running this team. The tempo we play at is incredible. You look and think where these boys getting their energy from.
No, that's it.
Every man. No, nobody had a bad game last night.
No. But that's happening week in, week out. We're not seeing poor performances from anyone. They seem to pile them sloppy mistakes in the back. It's a lot quicker. And some of the balls, I mean, those cross-field passes, they're pinging 35, 40-yard passes. So
yeah, I can't remember a single mistake last night.
No, that's true. Actually, I've got a question to ask. When was the last time City won 5 on the bounce at home? I mean,
well, it's technically 6 on the bounce at home if you count last game of last season.
No, we don't.
Okay, well, the Mickey Adams season, 05-06. I think we
Wow.
won 7 home in a row. Well, we beat Derby 6-1. No, Wolves 2-0. Derby 6-1. I think we beat Brighton on that run. Sheffield Wednesday. I think we beat Sheffield United. Yeah, I think we won 6 home games in a row in 05-06 under
Nice.
Mickey Adams. Just trying to remember if it was 6 or 7.
It'll be 6 or 7 this season, so
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we weren't playing anywhere near the same level of entertainment then as it is this season.
No,
that's cool. Actually, let's go on to another thing. We'll talk about the defense. What did you guys make of defense last night? I mean, or generally?
We're in trouble.
Yeah, it
Not
worked.
much to do, did they?
No,
Yeah.
Didn't have Simon Moore didn't have anything to do until we're 3-0 up.
yeah, but positionally they were fantastic though as well. Like nobody was out of position. Again, like the odd time when somebody needed to come back, they're calling each other back.
Yeah.
They're getting everything right at the moment. It's all just coming. Okay, you could argue that we haven't really played like the best teams in this league yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But even so, I mean, I fancy us to actually get something against Fulham, and for me, they're probably the strongest team in the league.
Yeah.
I don't know how everybody else feels, but for me, I think they're the strongest in the league. Probably West Brom next, then Bournemouth, and then it's take your pick of the rest. And obviously, right now that's us. But there's a few of us who would say who are as good, or at least as good as where we're at. But we start putting these chances away, guys, and it could be.
I wouldn't rule us out against anyone at home at the moment.
No, I wouldn't, mate. Not with the fans. This is the best I think our fan base has been at home that I can remember in my lifetime.
In fact, yeah, I was going to say.
Definitely.
So I think the attendance last night was 20,600. I think if I'm not mistaken.
There weren't many Peterborough fans there either.
They said it was 15 or 1,600, so that's 19,000 City fans on a Friday night.
Yeah.
But it's not just the sheer volume of numbers, right? It's the actual atmosphere inside. I'm not hearing anybody whinging and moaning and griping about players and like going, okay, if there is a misplaced pass, there's that groan from the fans because they just want us to score. But it's not directed at one like particular player. Like in previous years, there'll always be 1 or 2 players that the fans just jump on and like anytime they do anything, even remotely like average or poor, they're just straight on the backs. And then for the rest of the 90 minutes, that guy will have a bad game as a consequence. Now they're just backing every single one of the boys, and it's great.
Yeah.
No, true. Actually, guys, so I know Adam talked about it, but in terms of like the chances we've created, and I know you said we're probably 3rd worst in the league. I mean,
yeah, that XG stat they use. I think we are one of the worst in the league for converting the chances, but how many chances are we creating, right? that's the positive from that.
No, so the reason I bring that up is, how do you guys rate the transformations of when Robbins came in 2017, just after we got relegated to what we're doing now? I mean,
chalk and cheese. He got the best out of an average bunch of players. Now he's actually got the players and he wants. And I think we brought in a new coach, didn't we, over the summer?
Yeah, it's the Trinidad and Tobago.
Yeah, and
I don't know his name. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know I can picture his face. I don't know his name, but if you look at how we were playing last season to how we're playing this season, I reckon a lot of that must have come from him because that's really the only key change in the backroom stuff. But clearly he's got some ideas, and right now it's working.
Yeah. I think the League 2 season, I think obviously Robin's got us up, but it was what's the best one? Unspectacular promotion in many ways. Like we scraped sixth in the table. A lot of the games were very much get the job done. It weren't particularly great football to watch.
We played well against the teams that were in the lower half of the table because they were so poor, and then it'd be 50-50 whether we'd take the win against the teams in and around us. We'd win one and then we'd lose one, or we'd draw one. We'd just kind of just do enough, like you say, to just get us over the line into the playoffs. And I think that was the target then. And then even though the season when we won the league, though, I mean, at times, certainly in that season, we kind of didn't play football anywhere near as good as this. Like we were able to beat the teams because we just had that little bit of extra quality, or we just did enough. But right now, we're just battering teams. We're so much better than the teams in these games. It's scary. And I can't remember us doing this ever. Not this consistently. Yeah. You'd have the odd game where you dominate like this, but I mean, Rich, can you remember a time where we were this dominant against? No.
Not over this period of time.
No. Like I say, you'd have the odd game, but just
scary thing is, I talked after the Reading game about how well we played, saying it was one of the best performances I've seen in so long. Every game I've seen since then,
It's been better, hasn't it?
the Cardiff game I missed the Cardiff game, but the Middlesbrough game was even better performance. And then the performance last night was just okay. The opposition weren't as strong as Middlesbrough, possibly not as strong as Reading, but
still the
performances seem to be getting better and better.
And even if and you got to think that was with that Todd Kane, who I guess we didn't really know too much about him, but I thought he had a really good game last night. I mean, still not quite as good as Dabo, but probably slightly improvement on Da Costa. And I'm not saying Da Costa.
I was about to ask. So, do you reckon that is going to give Robbins a dilemma when Dabo's back from suspension?
No. I think for me, Dabo's probably the best right wing back in the league. Yeah. I think there's, I mean, I can't think of it. I mean, I don't know all the other team squads, but certainly he's one of our key players, and I can't see that'd be like saying, if O'Hare was out for a couple of games, we brought someone in who did a good job. Would would O'Hare get back in? Of course he would. He'd be straight back in.
He's banned for another 2 games, and anything can happen in 2 games.
Yeah,
Kane could get an injury or suspension, or.
If he plays well, though, it might well be that he's got to work his way back in from the bench, but he'll still be straight back into the squad. If he doesn't start, he'll definitely be there. And obviously, we've got a big run of games coming up.
Yeah.
So, they'll chop and change. There'll be different people coming in.
Exactly. Well, I suppose we've got 2 games, then we've got the international break, haven't we? But then after that, it'll be all hands on deck.
Yeah. Well, I bring this next banner up because it's kind of appropriate. I mean, what are your thoughts on Luton? So I think we play them on Wednesday night.
As long as the coach has managed to fill up and we've got with petrol, it's all right.
Oh, mate.
Do you know what? I can't see anything other than a win.
I always say any point away in the Championship's a good point.
It is, but
in the knowledge that we've got Fulham at home coming up Saturday, I think it is an opportunity. Hopefully, an opportunity where we can get 3.
Yeah, you'd want us to now because obviously it would be realistic, right? Even though we're playing really well, you're still probably going to have Fulham as the favourites. Even though they're the away team, they have got that Premiership quality, and we're probably
I'm absolutely gutted on missing that Fulham game.
Yeah, but I still think, I think if we beat Luton, anything could happen on that Saturday,
Yeah.
Actually, so I've got a couple of comments up here, and I know obviously Darren couldn't make, so don't worry about it, Darren. It's all good. I'm sure Adam and Rich have been there.
Me and Adam both been there with our kids making noise in the background. So.
Nice.
Happens.
And then Darren also asked, what do you think the attendance will be against Fulham?
Probably about the same.
How many will Fulham bring?
The thing is, though, it's a Saturday afternoon, but it's on Sky now, isn't it? 12:30 on Sky. Yeah. So I think that if it wasn't on Sky and it wasn't 12:30, I think 23, 24, because I think Fulham would bring a fair few down, maybe even pushing 25.
Yeah.
Especially if we go and beat let's say we beat Luton and we end up top of the league and we're, first in the league going into that game, then obviously, it's going to be 25, 26,000 fans wanting to turn up.
So, Rich, didn't you have an interesting start about Fulham, the fact that we've never been in the same league as them?
Yeah, last time we played them in a league game was 67-68, our first season in the top flight. And we played them in the Cup in 1983 in a 2-legged cup tie. But it is an incredible one, considering both sides in the last 20 years or 25 years, both sides have been in all 4 divisions of the league. It's incredible how we kept missing each other this time.
So, guys, anybody that wants stats on City, reach out to Rich. He knows it. He's Mr. Encyclopedia. He knows it inside out. Nah, it's all good. It's all good. Next one. What do you reckon on City strike partnership? So, I deliberately didn't put Wagon and Gyokeres in there, but I thought
but that is our partnership, isn't it? So
best we've had since Keenan Roussel.
Okay.
And I know it's Gyokeres is the one scoring the goals, but as I've said already, it does. As long as
Tyler Walker hasn't even featured yet, I don't think he has.
He came on for Gyokeres last night. I think he had about 5. Well, I think he had 5 to 10 minutes. He definitely came on, but I think he just gave Gyokeres a rest. But he had a couple of it was tired legs, and he came on and actually got the ball, ran with it. Obviously it's hard to really impress when you're 3-0 up and, the rest of the team probably aren't really going gung-ho trying to get another goal. But he looked lively. He did okay in those few minutes he was on the pitch. The few touches he had, I thought he played well, without really doing obviously a lot. But he went on a nice little run. I think he won as a corner.
Yeah.
So
Liam Kelly made his first appearance.
Yeah, he came on the same time as Walker, didn't he? And
See him back.
And then we had Jones on. Jody Jones had another 5-6 minute spell. So
it was good at 3-0 up. It gave Robbins the opportunity to give these players a bit of time.
A few minutes, get them on the pitch, get them doing something. Just get
So
back out there.
Do you reckon they'll change the lineup much for Luton on Wednesday?
Well, Darren asked on the last podcast. Darren asked me, "Would we make changes against Cardiff?" And I said, "Yeah, sure, we'll make at least one or two." And then Robbins proved me wrong by naming an unchanged side. So that proves I haven't got a clue.
If you've just played that well against Peterborough, do you really want to make changes? Unless you have to, right? I don't think he's going to. He may want to go slightly different tactics against Fulham, but for me, I think that would be a mistake. I think just go with what we're doing and make them change what they're doing, rather
so long as everyone's fit, unchanged.
Yeah.
So Darren's put up another question. Yeah, what do you guys think of Shipley playing?
Only if he goes out on loan to a League One team. Right now, he's not good enough. He needs the games. I think he can get to this level, but right now, he's nowhere near.
He's someone I really want to do well for the club.
Just because he's a City boy, isn't he?
A work colleague of mine went to the under-23 game at the Rico, and it was CBS a few weeks back, and Shipley played. I was quite surprised because he said, told me that Shipley wasn't putting his foot in and was backing out of challenges and not committing. And I thought, that doesn't sound like Jordan Shipley. But I was quite surprised to hear that. This is just my work colleague's opinion. So,
I
don't. But
he might have been told, though, that he's surplus to requirements because, you know, he's not quite at the same level as the rest of them, but that's due to a lack of games at this level.
Yeah. But, maybe send him out on loan.
That's what he needs. He should have, for me, I think the smart move from Robbins at the start of the season would have been to loan him out, League One team, get him 25, 30 games under his belt, bring him back and then see if he can challenge. Because right now, he just doesn't have the games under his belt.
Yeah.
Not for me personally. And he just doesn't look quite good enough yet. He needs to go out somewhere and he's not going to play another championship team. So.
One Pompey in the run to sign him or something.
Possibly. I mean, there was some rumours, weren't there, that he was going out on loan to Portsmouth. So maybe in January, maybe he will go somewhere. Who knows?
Could do him the world of good, and who knows? He could. At the end of the day, he might have to step up 2 leagues next season. We bring him back.
Yeah,
that's
the dream, mate.
Tongue in cheek, but
calm down, Rich. Calm down. We're all excited.
It's a road to 51 points to stay up. 14 clear of relegation at the minute.
He's like using reverse psychology. Now we're only looking for safety. We're only looking for next thing is, you know what the funny thing is? We miss off by playoff. We'll all have a fit. Oh, we should have made the playoffs. Oh shit, man.
Yeah, but the thing is, I think we're all quite happy with how we're playing at the moment. And you know, if we go and play like this for the rest of the season and we don't make the playoffs, then we would be disappointed. But it would only come down to the fact we're not converting those chances.
Amazing feel-good factor at the minute, though. Walking down Fosel Road after the game yesterday, every single pub, packed, the Wheat Chief, the Free Horseshoes, when I went down Old Church Road, the Royal Oak packed, which is great. This is the effects of having a football team playing back in its home city and that football team doing well.
Exactly.
Rich, what about that guy that got kicked out? So you said something happened. What happened?
Oh, there was a little scuffle in the crowd in front of me. I think it was just handbags, to be honest. I don't pay much attention to stuff like that. I just get on with watching the game.
Well, when we scored the first goal, one guy tried. Well, he didn't even try to jump on the pitch. He just jumped on the Hornets. He was just grabbed by the stewards and just manhandled out. So I don't actually know who was on the pitch, but he kind of just stood there and he put his arms in the air. So he didn't look like he was about to jump on the pitch. Literally, 4 guys just grabbed him and manhandled him out.
Yeah, it was more than that. It's about 8 stewards, wasn't it?
It was in the end, but yeah, initially 4 of them grabbed him, and then and the thing is, the guy wasn't even resisting. He was just happy we were winning. Sometimes you get a bit overexcited when you watch the City, especially when
I saw a guy ran on the pitch to celebrate a goal once. This was a few years back. A guy did. The steward stopped him. And then, so he ended up getting thrown out, and to make matters worse, the goal got disallowed anyway.
Well, was that you by any chance?
No, it weren't me. I've never done nothing like that. I behaved myself at football.
Thing is, there might be a different kettle of fish there if we win and we end up going to the Prem, right? You imagine we score a last-minute winner and that's the one that is taking us up. We're all on the pitch, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think the Stewards could do anything then. But
Nah,
like
just
I said,
get out of the way.
let's just enjoy the run.
Yeah.
Because it's a special time. I mean, let's be honest. Like I think Adams hit the nail on the head. Robbins has literally done magic with very little budget. I mean, imagine he did have a budget to spend. God knows what he could achieve.
I think the thing is, though, I think he's got enough. I mean, look, would you rather us spend money and end up like Derby and Reading, or would you rather us do what we're doing and just chip away and just build nicely? We're doing the right things. This is how it's going to have to happen now. And I think in the future, you'll see more and more teams having to do this. Nobody will be spending big money because they just won't have it. The only teams that will in the Championship will be those that come down from the Prem with those parachute payments. But I can see those being like reduced massively as a consequence.
Well, I think Reading are also going into administration as
possibly, well. Yeah. So that could be two teams both losing 9 points already. So
you feel for the fans in them positions, but at the same time, it's happened to us. Rules are rules, unfortunately.
Exactly.
And there's no. It's a shame.
Derby should have had that deduction last season. They got out of jail there. They massively avoided that. They should have been down, and I think it's massively unfair on Wickham.
I know.
So Darren asks, has Joy Sapella been back to watch us yet this season?
I've heard rumours she's been.
I haven't bumped into her myself.
No. I think she's been at games. I think I heard somewhere she was at the Middlesbrough game, but don't quote me on that. I don't know for sure. She does seem to be a lot more involved now. Obviously, she's not involved in day-to-day running the club because that's Dave. She's got Dave Body to do that, but. No, we saw her on the news the other week talking about the potential new stadium.
Yeah, well, they've got to look into it, haven't they? I mean, we'll just see.
Do you honestly think...
What I heard, she was deeply hurt by all the protesting and by how bad things got, and I think she's probably maybe she does want to turn things around. It's maybe a case of she wants to make up for.
Yeah, the thing is though, when they first took us over, they hadn't got a clue how to run a football club and how to manage the
institutions.
Yeah, how to manage that correlation between business and fans. Right? They just put the biggest clowns ever, who are probably like fantastic business minds, but when it comes to a sports team, just have no clue how to sort of liaise with the fans.
Ken Doolio sitting on the bench.
Yeah, that just massively damaged obviously that relationship between the owners and the fans, and obviously couple that with the fact we just needed to just trim it right down because we just had so much money going out of the club to the wrong places. We had to sell this, we had to sell that, had to sell any player that had any sort of value just to keep our heads above water. And I think now we're in a position where we don't have to do that and we can actually build, and I think it's good. We had to fall before we could rise, right? That's why that phoenix on the badge is there.
Exactly.
That's what happens when a hedge fund takes over and just thinks that they know what's going on.
But we could be one of the few teams that if we do manage to eventually go up, we'll be one of the few teams up there though that will be turning a profit.
That is true. That is true.
So you can get there doing it the right way. Brentford have done it that way.
Yeah, took them a few years, but they're not getting hammered every week. I know it's early in the season, but
no, I mean they still might struggle with the drop, but they're certainly holding their own. And there looks like there's one or two other teams that certainly Norwich don't look like they're going to do anything this season. Just knocked it out for that level, but again, they don't invest at all.
Norwich are like a yo-yo club, basically. They just keep coming up and
they're slightly too good for the Championship, but not quite good enough for the Prem, and they don't push on.
So Darren's come up. I think the stadium will be built. They've given Robbins the tools to do the job the last few seasons.
Yeah, I mean they haven't sort of like they could have quite easily sat back and said any money that comes in we're taking because we're owed X amount of millions. But they've always given him something back. They've probably taken 10, 20, 30%, but they've always given him something to spend. Yeah. I mean, even when we brought in Matty Godden, I believe that due to the fact we got promoted, I'm sure somebody asked, was it Peterborough we got him from?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody mentioned on Twitter, like they asked him a question, is there any clause if Coventry get promoted? Do we get any money off that? And he said, yeah, this will probably push it past 7 figures.
Yeah.
So... we've obviously shelled out £1 million on him, $1 million for Gyokeres, $1 million for Hamer. You know, we're spending 7-figure sums on players. Okay, it's not that much when you think about it compared to some of the other things. We're still spending money, and we haven't sold. Did we sell anyone this summer? Or did we just release players?
No, the players released. No, I don't think we did sell anyone. Obviously, loan players who we didn't manage to sign.
Yeah, so I mean, we've spent.
Oh, we got some money from Morosi, didn't we? I think.
Yeah, but I can't imagine that was £1 million.
No. I mean, so let me bring up an interesting debate, because now Rich was going back on this morning on what was it, WhatsApp way too early, about is Hamer Brazilian or Dutch? And I know that Adam and you guys were going back and forth on this. So
well, for the benefit of the song, he was born in Holland, weren't he? Or born in Brazil, but grew up in Holland, but for the Netherlands. But for the benefit of the song, he's Brazilian.
I prefer to think he's Dutch.
Yeah, it doesn't quite sound
on my own. Nah, to be fair though, I still don't think he's the finished article there. You know, I still think I still don't think there's a lot of room for him to improve. Hamer, need to get O'Hare signed. What, a new
contract?
Yeah, I think he means.
I don't know how long he's gone. Yeah, has he got a year left?
Yeah, so with January fast approaching, right, he might be someone that ends up leaving. You know, if someone comes in now, 8 million, 10 million, Hamer is Brazilian.
Well, Robbins has said pretty much said similar to what you and many others have said. If O'Hare was scored the goals, we would be struggling to keep him. It's only his lack of
end product.
He's lacking in the final 10%, in the final third.
But again, though, if someone comes in and offers us 10 million, I can see him going. You know, the club aren't going to say no to that, and then it's okay as long as Robbins can sign somebody else.
Yeah.
Who can, or maybe one or two that can at least offer us something similar, then okay, you can sort of like cushion the blow a bit.
It could be that he gets signed and he gets loaned back to us for the season.
Yeah. But I can't see who would buy him. I don't think he's ready for the Prem yet.
No.
But they might then obviously turn around and say, yeah, well, we'll loan him back to you for the rest of the season, and then hopefully he will be.
Well, apparently Hamer was had a lot of interest from Rangers and a few other clubs.
I think that was all in the media though, because everywhere Rangers denied it, Coventry denied it. So I think there was just some football manager rumor that some guys cottoned onto and thought, I'm going to put it out there.
Stirring up rumors for no reason.
But you know, if they carry on performing, though, we'll have a lot of players. Yeah, there'll be a lot of teams sniffing around all of our players.
Yeah,
Simon Moore, he could be one that ends up having a big offer. As daft as it sounds.
Actually, I was going to say, do you reckon he's the signing of the season? Because we got him from Sheffield United, right?
I don't know.
He's doing his job. He's playing so well that he hasn't had a lot to do in games. That performance against Middlesbrough.
Yes, the 3 saves.
Yeah.
And
one in the first half.
Salter Clark as well.
Yeah.
He looks class at the back. But then so do the rest of them. McFadden, he's cut out all of those silly mistakes that he's had. And obviously the start of the League One season, he's making so many silly errors. And obviously he was sticking out same in the Championship last season. This season, the guy's 36. He's probably playing the best football of his life.
Yeah. Hyam and McFadden, both of them have really stepped up.
Yeah. So this is the thing, they start sticking out for the right reasons, and all of a sudden teams are thinking, do you know what? Well, okay, McFadden's probably not going to go anywhere due to his age, but Hyam could go.
Obviously, what about Rose? What do you reckon about Rose?
Is he playing at the moment, or is he on the bench a lot?
He's on the bench.
I think he was on the bench last night.
Yeah, he's probably just behind those guys in the pecking order, but you wouldn't be surprised if he started. Yeah, you wouldn't be surprised if Rose maybe got a start against Luton, for example, and rested one of them.
Maybe, yeah. But
you just don't know. But with a 2-week break, though, coming up after, is it 2 weeks after Fulham? The internationals. It is, isn't it? Right? We've got Fulham, and then we haven't got a game then for 2 weeks.
And then we've got the international break.
Yeah, so we might just play the same starting 11 in both games, barring any injuries, and knowing full well they've got 2 weeks rest, most of them.
Yeah.
Have we got anybody who got an international duty? Maybe Gyokeres, maybe.
Is he in the Swedish under-21s? Yeah, I know.
They might call him off.
It's all right. My dinner's getting burnt at the moment, so I'm going to have to log off in a minute.
Yeah, Yeah, Gyokeres maybe. Heyman, I don't think they're going to call him up. I'd be surprised. Is that O'Hare Irish?
No, I don't think so. He's English.
Well, I kind of saw that he could potentially represent Republic of Ireland. So whether that's true or not, I don't know. But that's what I read. So potentially, obviously, they might think about calling him up because they've had an absolutely shocking campaign so far. So you can't do any worse than what they've got there. But I don't see the rest of them going anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's a 2-week break, isn't it? So they can have a few days off and then get back to it.
Yeah.
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 That's in the under 21. Interesting. But yeah, guys, thank you very much for tuning in. I know Rich has to go. Yes. Rich has daddy duties to attend to. So, guys, thank you very much for tuning in.
Yeah, man.
As always, please leave a like, subscribe, and comment. We are on the race to 200. So, big up to Darren.
You on your computer?
Yeah, that's right.
That's you. That's you.
Yeah.
And that's your mate.
Yeah.
That's it.
Right.
We love to see it.
Yeah, let you go, guys. Okay.
Yeah.
Take it easy.
Yeah. See you later, lads.
Yeah.
In a bit, guys.
Bye.
Take it easy.
Bye.
See you.